Welcome to YouTube. Appreciate y'all joining us this morning. Appreciate you. We got a lot to get into. It's going to feel a little rushed because we have an amazing guest joining us in just a few minutes, but I want to give you all the list and some great and some not so great situations that we're facing right now. Keep in mind, tomorrow, Saturday, I think I'm going to do a live. I'd said I was going to aim for the first and third Saturday of the month. And so in addition to the Monday through Fridays that we've been doing here, pretty much since the election, I will be also doing a live Saturday. It's probably going to be around 10:45. That will give me enough time to have done some stuff in the garden outside and then get back inside. Speaking of the garden, I know we got some serious stuff to do. However, I was very upset this morning because I looked outside at my beautiful lavender plants that me and my mama and them had planted in the house, and some rabbit had dug up half of one of my plants, bit off a piece of it. I was like, you bitch ass rabbit. I'm sorry. It's a Friday, so I'm a little more loose with the tongue, but I was not happy. I was not happy with this. And so there's a rabbit that is like, or a squirrel, something. It's something that's messing up my lavender plants. I was very upset about it. So anyway, tomorrow morning I will have done enough. By around 10:45 in the morning. We'll go live between 10:45 and 11. Just wanted to give y'all that heads up. But in today's news, we got a lot to talk about. Are y'all planning to watch the IronHeart series? Do you guys remember in Wakanda, not Wakanda Forever, the second installation of Black Panther? I know they got two different names, but I can't remember what it was. In my mind, it's Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2, the one with Chadwick Boseman, and the one where Chadwick was an ancestor. So in Black Panther 2, there's this other little girl who we meet, Riri. And I know y'all I like these movies. I love these movies, but I don't like study the Marvel universe, right? Like I'm not one of them people who can tell you what in Ironheart used to go with X when I can't do all that, but I do know I love the movies. I love the stories. I think there's a lot there. But Ironheart is a 6-part series that's going to be airing on Disney Plus, and it's going to start on June 24th. Now I saw the preview or the trailer for it. I thought this was amazing because it picks up the story of Riri Williams, the little girl who was helping out Shuri and who was in the second Black Panther. And she was like super, super dope, but she was like the Black American version of the super dope Shuri, who was like the Wakanda version of the super dope Black American Riri. The point is, they have a whole series about this little girl right now, and she's played by Dominique Thorne, and she is so dope. And I sort of taught it Chad the trailer shows you some of the journey she's going to be in it. And I thought it was a movie at first. I didn't realize it was a 6-part series. And this has been produced by Ryan Coogler. There's some really awesome names connected to it. They say that Ironheart is created by Chinaka Hodge. It stars Thorne, as I mentioned, Anthony Ramos, Alden, and Aaron Reich, Lyric Ross, and Reagan Aaliyah, but it starts June 24th. The reason I'm mentioning it is because it is a Marvel trailer with a whole bunch of Black and brown people in it. So people online have been dogging the hell out of this thing. And I saw this article that really concerned me. And I know we got way more serious things to talk about, but it's Friday. We try to ease up a little bit. I be serious with y'all all week, except for Saturdays and Fridays. And so I saw these articles that were talking about how they're getting more dislikes than likes. So if you are a fan of Black people doing well in art and media, and you like the storyline between Riri and Shuri, I'm going to encourage you to watch. It was Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That's what it was. I'm going to encourage you to watch Ironheart. But as of the writing of the article I was reading, the trailer had gotten over 5.9 million views and 155,000 likes. This is the trailer that Marvel Studios put out. But it was offset by 238,000 dislikes. So they are trying to use digital activism to destroy this series before it even gets a shot. So one, I would like for y'all, if you believe that our voices in media and in these spaces matters, I would like for you to, number one, go to the YouTube channel, not now, like after the live, after I'm done, go to their YouTube channel, Marvel Studios YouTube channel, find the trailer, like the trailer, and then share it with your friends, and then let's watch it. Like, remember how, for those of you who remember the Scandal days, and I know Scandal is complicated, I know Scandal was problematic, but me and my sister friends, we watched Scandal every Thursday, and we would live tweet it, and it was wonderful. Shout out to you, Lindsay, because my girl, every Thursday we was watching Scandal, but it was a collective thing that we made popular, that we made wonderful and considered valuable. And that's when other people began to value it. So I would encourage you all on June 24th, when it comes out, watch it. I will definitely be watching it. I'm definitely going to be watching it with my kids and my husband and my mama, because I think we should, it feels like a family type thing. I might be wrong about that. Little girl, my daughter might not be able to watch the full thing. She gets scared easily, but yeah, think about that. And think about the fact that this is how people determine what we get access to in terms of content and what we don't. And so they're being very digitally active in some really awful ways. So let's make sure that we are supporting the entities that show good stories about us. Not everything's got to be a say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Although I'm not mad at a say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. But sometimes we like fantasy, we like science fiction, we like imaginative things on screen. And so this is one of those things that I think will be that. So support IronHeart. I don't get IronHeart is not pay, I don't think IronHeart's running any commercials on this channel. I have not heard any commercials on this channel. I don't get any money for talking about the things that I like to watch. But I think that this is important to do it. I just wanted to say that also, so y'all don't think that I'm getting paid to do any of that. I'm not. I'm just talking about what the fact is that I saw the trailer. I thought it was amazing. I got extra hyped about it. And then I started seeing all this negative commentary in these articles talking about how there are a lot of digital activists out there who are doing their best to bomb it before it even starts. So let's support that. Speaking of bombs, it's going to make a slight segue here. Speaking of bombs, somebody out there must have read Clay Kane's upcoming book, which is called Burning Down Master's House. I have read the book, y'all. It's amazing. It is amazing. But there is a whole ass plantation that burned to the ground yesterday. There was a fire that ripped through Nottoway Plantation, which is a plantation, one of the largest remaining plantations. It was in White Castle, Louisiana in 1860, according to Farah Yvette, who is an executive producer with WDSU. In 1860, John Randolph was the evil white man who owned this plantation. And I say he was an evil white man because he enslaved 150 of my ancestors, and 150 Africans were enslaved by him. And he owned this plantation, and it has been recently used as an event venue, a hotel, a museum. People would get married there. And I just want to say, if you are considering getting married and starting your union on the sacred grounds of a space that is largely a death camp where people's souls were tortured and in anguish and utterly devastated for the pure greed and profit of white people who were too lazy to figure out how to farm and could not keep themselves alive without enslaving other people, then I pray that your marriage fails. I pray that your marriage fails. If that is where you are choosing to get married, I know I probably shouldn't be speaking negatively on other people, but if you trying to start your whole wedding, your new life, and you coming together as one, two shall become one. What Lord has put together, let no man put asunder, except my ancestors. May every one of you who have decided that dancing and frolicking all across the graves of people who did not want to be there, who have been enslaved for their entire lives, is the best setting for you to start your nuptials. May you get everything that demonically is yours, and that's my word to you, because anyway, the history of this place, according to I can't find the name of the article right now, darn it, I gotta find it, we'll tweet out the article, but the history of this place is kind of basic, what you would expect for a plantation. Nottoway Resort in White Castle was a former plantation home and the largest remaining antebellum mansion in the U.S. South. So we don't know why, we don't know how, but somehow, some way, the largest remaining antebellum mansion in the United States South was burned to the ground on Thursday as flames engulfed the 160-year-old building and its storied and painful past. The cause of the fire was unknown as of this morning, but they say it started in the building's south wing. Little pun there, southern wing of the house, destroyed the house in the south, the largest plantation in the house. Excuse me if I get a little joy out of this. According to the reports, no one was hurt. I would not be laughing at the demise of anyone there, usually. But unless you were like promoting slavery and you were like a white nationalist, then it would just be like thoughts and prayers. But basically, we still don't know what caused the fire, but it started in the south wing. It spread to the main house, and it's a total loss. And they're going to have insurance. Of course, they have insurance. Of course, it'll probably be rebuilt and people will continue to do the thing. But anyway, it was a plantation with 64 rooms, 53,000 square foot property. It was built between 1857 and 1859. Now, it was designed, they say, by an architect whose name I'm not even going to mention because he didn't build it. Who built it was the enslaved Africans. So they were enslaved on the land. They got the plans from the architecture who designed it, and then they had to build the building that was going to essentially be a palace built on the memories of their nothingness, their perceived nothingness. According to the report, over the few decades, the sprawling grounds of the plantation were transformed into a sought-after wedding location, a tourist destination and resort. It was celebrated for its southern charm and beautiful oak trees. The plantation was the major attraction and tourism driver for the southeastern Louisiana parish near Baton Rouge. But for many, says the report, Nottoway remained a symbol of the South's painful history with slavery, one that some felt was ignored inside the resort's doors. So basically, according to a number of people who have gone there and visited the plantation, they would be like, yes, there were at times slaves here, but they were largely treated well according to the documents. Really, Susan? Really, Karen? No, we don't do Karen. Sorry. Really, Susan? Really, Becky and Tabitha? According to whose reports were the enslaved Africans treated well? They weren't slaves, they were enslaved Africans. Who said, whose reports was it? Was it the enslavers' reports that said that they were treated well? Come on now. Come on now. But it's gone now until their insurance money kicks in. But I will find as much joy in it as I can. It's particularly because when we think about what's happening on plantations, and this is where we get a little serious, things like experimenting on Black people, like the kind of experimentation that J. Marion Sims did on the bodies of Black women who were enslaved, who he essentially owned or had lease rights to. And by lease rights, it's kind of like renting an enslaved African as opposed to outright owning them. But people would bring him his enslaved Africans, women who had fistulas, which is they had had babies and the way the skin healed did not come back correctly. And so it created a lot of gynecological problems and challenges for them. And J. Marion Sims, the white man who was a technical medical doctor of sorts, he experimented on their bodies. He is the reason why we have gynecological practices such as we do today. The speculum, that tool that is cold and metallic and not very pleasant at all, that all of us get when we go get a pap smear. Get your pap smears. But that tool was basically cultivated by his experimentation on Black women. And I mentioned this because for a lot of folks, we have continued to see examples of how Black women's bodies are simply incubators for the state, places upon which experiments can be performed. And we are seeing that again in the state of Georgia. Adriana Smith, we say her name. She is a 30-year-old Georgia woman, Black woman, whose family is reported that the hospital where her body is stored, and I say her body because she is no longer capable of being, she's on life support, basically. But they are keeping her alive, the hospital, not her family. She is on life support by force, against her wills and her wishes and against her family's wishes, because she also has, she's also brain dead and she's on a ventilator, all against her wishes, because Georgia has a 6-week abortion ban. She is pregnant. The fetus or the being, however y'all want to phrase it, the fetus inside her body is not viable, which means that the fetus is also going to die or is dead, and is only being kept alive by life support. But because of Georgia's 6-week abortion ban, they are keeping her alive almost like a zombie. They're keeping her alive only based on machines against her family's wishes. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical care and medical costs. And this is going to persist this way because of the foolishness of the laws in the state of Georgia. And so when we're thinking about plantations as a location upon which anything that any white person wanted to do to a Black person, they could do it and get away. I mean, anything. I want you to think about the most evil. Don't even think about it. I'm just going to tell you the most evil, diabolical, awful, no good, very bad, terrible thing that you could do to anybody. That thing, you could do that to a Black person, and you could do that because there basically was no option for you. There was no protection for you. And so this is what we're seeing, almost a version of in this current era. And so we're in a moment right now where her family is fighting to get the story out. And according to The Cut, and this is an article written by Andrea Gonzalez Ramirez, Smith's new entry in the canon of post-Dobbs indignities and horrors. The nurse and mother of one, because she was a nurse in her life, she was a mom already, I had sought medical help for intense headaches at a local emergency room in February, according to her mother, April Newkirk. Doctors sent her home with some medication. They did not perform a CT scan. The next day, her partner calls 911 after she wakes up gasping for air and making gargling sounds that the family attributes to possible internal bleeding. The hospital found that she had multiple blood clots in her brain, and the doctors, they moved to perform a procedure that would relieve the pressure. It was too late. She was then declared brain dead. This was in February. Because Smith, according to the report, was nearly 9 weeks pregnant at the time, the hospital kept her alive on breathing machines for the past 3 months, according to her mom. She told 11 Alive, her mom, that the medical team said that they had no other option due to Georgia's laws, which prohibit abortions once fetal cardiac activity is detected around 6 weeks of pregnancy. While the law makes exceptions when the pregnant person's life is in danger, Smith's case falls into a legal gray area. She is brain dead, which means, this is directly out of the report, which means her life is no longer considered at risk, and her doctor claim they are legally required to keep her body on life support until the fetus reaches viability, according to her mother. Representatives from Emory-Decatur, where Smith was previously hospitalized, and Emory University Hospital, where she was transferred, have not responded for requests for comments. The pregnancy is now at 21 weeks of gestation. Doctors are planning to keep the body alive until the fetus can survive outside the womb. That will happen around 32 weeks of pregnancy, when her dead body will then be induced to deliver, and then her breathe. So the family is watching this woman breathe through a machine. She is not here. She is with the ancestors. Her physical body is still here, and they are keeping her in this position because this is what the law requires. or so they say. And frankly, even if the law didn't require it, it's such a gray area that the hospital does not want to have any issues here. And so it's easier for them to say, we're going to keep her on this machine until we think the law will no longer cause us to face liability. This is why elections have consequences. When people say that, this is part of what they mean. And this is why it's really important that we don't reduce ourselves to single issues. And when we reduce ourselves to single issue voting, we miss the forest for the trees. This family is going through agony. The bills, the medical bills that are going to be reached as a result of these procedures are going to be astronomical, bankruptcy inducing bills. Who's going to pay for that? I don't know. I hope her family will not be on the hook for it. But when you're thinking about the fact that you can vote in The Handmaid's Tale, and then you have more people who want The Handmaid's Tale going to vote than those of us who chose to stay home. And we're seeing the numbers, a lot, 92% of the 80, what was it? 82% of the Black men who voted for Kamala Harris, but way more of us stayed home. This is on all of us. This is on all of us, and voter suppression and all the other things too. But this didn't have to be. And it is largely because we did not do what this didn't have to be. Let me not go into why it wasn't. This does not have to be. And so it's important that we engage as best as we can. YouTube, appreciate y'all. Got to go. We have Alan Orr, I see, is joining us. Are we ready for Alan Orr, who's going to explain to us what the hell the Supreme Court did yesterday and did not do? Okay, awesome. YouTube, thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Got to go. We are speaking now with some